You are live now. A very good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible. Please let me know if I am audible so that we can start our today's lecture that is on political awareness that would be presented by our Sir Dr. Um, Anas Jamal sir. So, Dr. Anas Jameel sir is an assistant professor in Integral University, and he is mainly from political science background, and he will be delivering today's lecture on political awareness. So, I welcome you, Dr. Anas sir, and the stage is now over to you. Please start the lecture.
Hello, a very good afternoon to one and all in this live session where I am going to present a topic on political awareness. It's very much required. It's very need of the society actually. The political awareness of the uh, masses actually. Whether you are a student, whether you are middle-aged person or old-aged person, everybody, uh, for each and everyone across the country actually the the need of political awareness cannot be set aside actually. So so I am having this uh, presentation ppt. So can you please see, am I visible over there?
Yes, sir. Everything is all right. Your screen is visible and your voice is also audible.
My slide is visible. Yes. So I am Dr. Anas Jameel, assistant professor political science of humanities and social sciences, Integral University Lucknow. So today I'm going to present before you all about on the topic political awareness, and this is today's content list. The introduction, what is it? This political awareness, what is the importance of political awareness, and the levels of political awareness, reasons why there is a requirement of political awareness, political interest, consequences of no political awareness. If the people are no uh, politically aware, so what will be the consequences of it, and the catalyst for positive change and active participation in democracy. The introduction one, it is an era of dynamic political changes. Political awareness has become the more critical than ever actually, because in this connected era, the globally we are all connected to each other. Anything going on anywhere across the globe is actually impacting us, whether a war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine, or the present crisis that is going on in between Israel and uh, Gaza. So it has actually impact on each and everyone's lives across the globe. So without understanding the politics that is going on, and what is the impact that will it has on our lives, so we will not actually do justice with our lives without knowing the is going on across. And this intricate imparts individual to navigate societal complexities. And when societal complex, there is a vast diversity among in the society actually. We have people coming from different genders, from different strata. They are having their own issues and own grievances, and their address must be the address to those grievances and the problems in the society must be taken up by the government itself. That is why we talk about politics. So before going through the political awareness, but what we need to do is first tell you what is it. What do you mean by this political awareness? It actually refers to an individual's understanding and consciousness of political events, issues, and dynamics within a local, national, and global context. It involves being informed about the structures, process, and key players in politics, as well as having an awareness of current affairs, policies, and other potential impacts on society. What this actually means is when we talk about political awareness and the stakeholders that are associated with this political awareness, I'm taking into taking this state and the government and the policies and the different machineries who are implementing these the policies that is being made by the state and the government, and how we must elect our government, each and everything, and the conflict that is going on in India or anywhere, and the good thing that is happening across, and uh, the policies of different be implemented. We have seen actually at the time of the COVID that is being done by our country, which were later on incorporated by different other countries, and vice versa actually. So without actually knowing and understanding this political events, we are unaware of anything, and we will be dumb actually, because in our day to day life, uh, without our rights we cannot actually realize our full potential. And the motive of the state and the government is to just protect our fundamental rights and provide whatever reasonable thing that is being required to lead a good life, uh, that must be provided by the state itself. So a political aware person is not only knowledgeable, it's not about it's knowledge only, it's not only knowledgeable but about political matter, but also possesses the ability to critically analyze information. Rather, we must not believe in anything that is going on. We must actually critically analyze the information. We need to this is the age of misinformation and in fact fake news. We need not to have only the information, rather we need to look into the criticality of that information, whether it is right or wrong. We need to compare it, and then we have to decide on our own. And this is political awareness actually, and form independent opinions. And we can have our own opinion. We must not build our misconception that is being circulated in masses. So political awareness is crucial for informed decision making, effective participation in democratic process, contributing to the overall well-being of a society. It empowers individuals to navigate the complexities of the political landscape and the implications of political decision on both personal and collective level. So this is political awareness, and this is very much required among the masses. But in the back of our mind, that must be something is just must be circulating, that what do you mean by politics? That I'm going to take up over here. What is politics? It refers to activities, actions, policies that are used to gain and hold power in a government or to influence the government. It encompasses the process through which societies make collective decisions, allocate resources, establish and enforce rules and laws. Politics is a multifaceted field that involves interactions, negotiations among individuals, group, institutions to shape the policies and governance of a community, region, or a nation at large. It includes government, political institutions, political parties. When it comes to political institutions, we talk about the election commission right now. And yesterday, Mizoram's result came out, and prior to that, the result of Rajasthan, result of Madhya Pradesh, and after legislative assemblies over there, the results came out. And we all know what is going on around us. What is the duty of the election commission? And each and everything, when we talk about um, politics and political science and political awareness, why we are taking up this particular topic is actually, if we are, let's take and assume some people who are illiterate don't go through newspapers, don't go through articles, don't go through different political magazines and the news channels, and they are not going to schools and colleges. They, if they going to go after the age of 18 years, if they going to vote, to whom they are going to vote and on what ground they are going to vote, they don't know. And it will be it can be happen it can happen actually, that they may go into the trap of getting 500 to 1000 rupees, and give their vote to that individual who has actually given that money. It's a sort of corruption. And it's not the corruption at 4 500 or 1000 rupees. It's because the time that the person will hold that position, he will actually going to get around thousands of crores of rupees from that particular region. So it will ultimately, what will actually what happen is, it will corrupt the system actually. And whatever resources that is being designated to be spent on the welfare of those individuals, to provide education, to provide health services, to provide to protect basic necessities of those individuals, to provide them with electricity, to provide them with roads, to provide them with each and every day to day needs of the masses, that is being taken by that individual because he has actually bought that vote from your side. And on the other hand, if a person who is very much informed and educated one, or literate one, who go and see the news channels, who go and see the policies that the government is uh, coming up with, and everything that is around such sort of activities, if he will go and going to vote and cast his vote, then he will take into consideration the the work, the previous work of that individual, and the political party to which he is affiliated to. uh, what is their manifesto, what are their plan to develop their area or the nation, and what will have the implication of our country after that political party at international level. And then is going to cast vote, and ultimately it will make the state accountable to the masses, otherwise it will not be. So political awareness is very much required, that we will going to be uh, talk about more about it actually. So going further to when we talk about government, it's an organized system or body that has the authority to make or enforce laws, regulations, policies with specific jurisdiction. When we talk about government, it forms laws in the parliament. Later on, they implement those laws and formulate regulations and policies. For what? For whom these policies? For example, Niti Aayog is one of the institutions, political institution. Niti Aayog was made by the government after this transforming this planning commission, transformed it into Niti Aayog, and they worked on the downtrodden districts, to identify the downtrodden and where the illiteracy is very much, and there is poverty, and they are the most backward districts. Niti Aayog identified around 27 to 30 districts across India, so that first they wanted these districts to be covered for their further policies, just to make sure uh, to eradicate the poverty over there, to provide education over there, to enhance the health services to be provided over there. These are the works of the institutions. And if any government is coming up with this policy with only with that sort of motive, if the people have voted on this particular ground that they will take into the consideration the grievances at such a level, otherwise it will be very hard for any of the uh, government to make certain policy. They will actually, the government will work for on their particular agenda and on their particular ideology if the people are not well aware of, and make this state and government accountable. And we have seen that different approaches of the government in the form of good governance, e-governance. There's a whole lots of we have seen transparency, accountability, speedifying the process, each and everything. This can only be done through political awareness. And it's not about only making state accountable, rather in order to fulfill our needs we need to know about different scholarship programs that is being provided by the state itself. The government institutions is providing many scholarships to the students, and if we are not well informed, if we do not go through the different uh, policies of the government, how we come to know that these are the uh, scholarships scheme, these are the uh, employment scheme that is being provided by the government? No, we will not be. So it is very important to have an insight to each and everything, and to make some informed decisions. So we have this elections, which is periodic elections, and in this election we play a very crucial role, that is electing a government for another 5 years, a whole term. And if we will do an informed and political being a political aware people to cast vote, Nobody actually, many of the individuals have seen that do not cast vote, and how they can expect that state will fulfill their needs and give answers. Because if you do not participate, and you will say I am away from politics, I do not indulge in such sort of politics. Politics has always interest in you, whether you have interest in politics or not. It does not matter. The the major thing that lies is politics is always interested in you. It's as simple as that. So uh, during the time of elections, actually elections done for this choosing the government, those who will going to, for actually 5 years, for 5 years they are going to make laws on behalf of you, on the only on the basis that your representation representatives has been actually elected and is being sitting over there in the parliament and the legislative assemblies. So it is very much required that a political awareness is the need of the hour. And with such sort of mass use of social media, you will come across different news, and it's all about that you have liked that particular page of political awareness and political news. Without that, you will be not being able to understand the scenario, that is the politics, the policies, the elections, there is the conflict that is going on around you. And each and everything has actually impact on your life. Let's take an example. If two countries is having war with each other, and this globalizer, we must know that many things are being imported, and the country involved in any conflict, and anything that is being in country will be adversely affected, and it will actually increase the demand is always there, but due to the availability of that thing in that country, the prices will go high, and it will ultimately adversely affect. So there is always implications and consequences of anything that is going around you, whether you are interested or not, whether you don't, you may not know that it will have an adverse effect or not, but it will always be there. It will always be there, or positive or negative impact on your life, but it will always be there. The reasons for political awareness: informed decision making. Individuals want to make informed choices when it comes to electing leaders, supporting policies, or participating in civic activities. Political awareness helps them understand the implications of their decisions, because the implications of these decisions can only be realized by the individual. Then comes this civic responsibility. Many people view political awareness as a civic duty. They believe that being informed about political issues is essential for responsible citizenship and contributing to the well being of their community or society. We have certain duties. We have in our Indian constitution fundamental duties, and we have certain civic duty. We used to follow the government guidelines while riding a bicycle, while riding a bike or a four wheeler. while during the time of COVID, we were told to actually wear masks and have sanitize each and everything. At that point of time, we followed each and every guidelines just to make sure our, our life as well as others' life will not be impacted. And everything was done and was circulated by the government. Each and everything, whether the distribution of medicines, distribution of masks, distribution of other facilities, actually was done by the government. And being politically aware, we could only say that just because of that awareness of our minds, we actually benefited with each and every policies and everything that is being provided by the state. There was a time of having of so much of corruption in every section. During the time of COVID, with sort of health services, but government tried to do every possible thing that could save the life of the masses. And it is only through these government policies, circulation of these government policies, that people were uh, PDS system, public distribution, was speedified. Masses through um, um, providing these wheat and basic anaj to the masses. Impact for daily life. Political decision can have a direct impact on various aspects of daily life, including education, healthcare, employment, public services. Political individual to understand how government policy influence these areas. Has done this NEP, National Education Policy. And if you are not political aware, you will not be going to understand what are the different um, values and principles that are associated with this um, NEP. It has the provision of multiple entry and multiple exit. Ultimately what is the purpose of NEP? Just to make sure कि our education system will be at par with the other global education institutions, and we provide 4 years undergrad program which were not being provided to us before this NEP. In many of the cases, some of the courses, uh, the government was providing this 4 year undergraduate program like BTech, BCA, and other field, but many of the fields were not being made in such a way. So NEP brought this 4 year undergraduate program, and ultimately what it provided is uh, we are having this multiple entry and exit system where after completion of 1 year one can have this certificate. After 2 years one can have diploma, and in 3 years graduate degree, and in fourth year you can have the research degree or your uh, 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 honors degree. And further you can move for 1 year postgraduate program and do your research. And after 4 years of the research one can directly go to this uh, research program, PhD program. And if you are not aware of it, if you are not politically aware of it, that government is brings a sort of revolution in the this education system. You will not be able to understand that what is the implication, and whether the government has done something great or not, whether the government has opened for us to get admitted in any foreign universities. So it has a positive impact, and the government makes sure that after going through these policies, one can have its say and comment and give recommendation to fill up the gaps in these policies, and that too is very much open. And it is the need of the hour that these political aware people make informed decisions in these areas. Then we talk about social justice and equality. Today, when we talk about social justice, many sections in the society is being discriminated. Um, we come across different reservation policies. Uh, so people used to say whether this reservation policy is good and or not. This is just because people have not gone through the history. People have not gone through the adversaries that has been done to those classes, and they are they are not being incorporated into the system for so many years, and that is actually one of the reasons uh, that they are being debarred. And that is why today these policies were being made, just to make sure to make them at par with the other communities. So ultimately providing social justice and equality among the masses, that is too being guaranteed in the constitution. And many of the organization, whether you talk about NGOs, whether you talk about other international organizations, are working for the same, and it become political aware to advocate for policies and initiatives that address such issues, and that addresses the human rights violations and all that stuff. So it is basically uh, it is one of the motive, because without being politically aware, one cannot actually judge any such sort of policies, and to make informed uh, comment and decision regarding it. It is very difficult. And whether we must advocate such sort of policies and initiatives by the government, it is all can be done only after having this uh, uh, politically aware knowledge of it, and understanding of that particular policies and initiatives, which actually takes into consideration the inequality among the society. Okay, so the government is bringing different laws. For example, they have brought up this 10% reservation system, 10% reservation system for the EWS, and other form of initiatives that is being taken up by the government themselves. So protection of rights. When we talk about being a political science, I'm always a student of political science. I will be always the for a student of politics. Whether I have become this assistant professor, because I used to read a lot. So when we talk about constitution, I always say it's based upon the principle of constitutionalism, which talks about the its doctrine that limits the power of the state. When we talk about limits the power of the state, that means the principle of rule of law is there. When we talk about principle of rule of law, then we talk about individual rights. that must be protected by the state. Why do we need this individual rights to be protected? Because otherwise, we are no more a democracy. Otherwise, if the rights of the individuals will not be protected, and the state will become a sort of dictatorship, converted into dictatorship actually. So, to preserve the democracy, we have this rule of law principle. We have this constitution just to protect such sort of functioning of the uh, state. So, we are having this dialogue of protecting the rights of the individuals. We have fundamental rights. Without being aware of any of the fundamental rights, how can one go to the judiciary just to make sure कि, sir, please see our rights is being violated by the state? How come you will going to go to this particular uh, uh, particularly to the Supreme Court or the High Court? How? You will not, because you are not politically aware. You don't know about your rights. You don't know about your duties. You don't know whether this right is being justiciable or not, whether this right has to be protected by the state or not. You are actually not doing your part if you are not aware of all these basics of politics. So it's not only about uh, how to go and vote and how to be informed. Rather, we need to know about what are our adhikars and rights. अगर हमें अधिकार ही नहीं पता होगा तो हम स्टेट को कैसे अकाउंटेबल बनाएंगे? नहीं बना सकते. So it's very much required that we need to know about the rights and duties. Furthermore, the economic implications, global awareness, empowerment, crisis response, media influence. When we talk about economic implications, political decisions such as fiscal policies, regulations can significantly impact the economy. People with an interest in economic well-being often become politically aware to understand and influence these policies. When it comes to global awareness, it is an interconnected word. I've already told you that the word is interconnected. Anything happening anywhere across the globe actually is having an impact on our life. So, in an interconnected world, individuals recognize the importance of understanding international relations and global politics. Political awareness allows them to comprehend the broader geopolitical landscape and its implications. Empowerment, political awareness empowers individuals by providing them with knowledge and voice. Why I'm emphasizing upon voice? Because a political aware person only can make informed decision through his voice that is being given under the fundamental right and the right to freedom of speech and expression. It's not an absolute right, rather it has certain restrictions too. But without exercising the right to freedom of speech, one is not politically aware actually. How can a person will make informed decision without exercising the right to freedom of speech and expression? We came across with one of the major bedrock because of which one can make government more accountable. In 2005, the UPA government brought Right to Information Act, one of the best laws making a government accountable, making things transparent, and just to make sure to devoid the actually to eliminate and minimize corruption in different departments. It's very important to have an insight, because when we talk about freedom of speech and expression, without having the relevant information, the correct information, one cannot exercise his fundamental right to speech and expression in an effective manner. जानने का अधिकार, right to information. For example, I'm giving you one example. If you're going to cast your vote in the next Lok Sabha elections, you are not being informed about the candidate, and you want to be informed about those candidates, whether he's having, how much is having the income, what sort of property is having, during his previous course what was his assets, and what was his liabilities, and now what is having, what he is right now having. Compare it. If the person has accumulated so much of wealth for his own good, and he has not actually spent money for the public good, for the common good, so you can have a informed decision of not voting that person, क्योंकि वो आएगा फिर अपने झोली भरेगा चला जाएगा. So what is the requirement is to be a political aware. Effective use of these government legislations and policies is very much required. Is very much required. Political awareness, empowerment. When we talk about empowerment, political awareness empowers individuals by providing them with knowledge and voice. Next is crisis response. During time of crisis or uncertainty, such as pandemic, natural disaster, or economic downturn, individuals may become more politically aware to understand how governments are responding and to assess the effectiveness of these responses. So there is a requirement, because during the time period of natural disaster, government tries to be in touch with the masses through social media, through other different platforms, and circulate the decisions and respond to such adversaries. And the political awareness is very much required when it comes to assess those responses and its effectiveness. So these are the points I have uh, given. Some of the case studies. We talk about Brexit referendum 2016, United Kingdom, where United Kingdom came out of European Union. In the Brexit referendum, the United Kingdom was a critical moment that showcased the impact of political awareness on national decision making. The British public voted on whether the UK should remain in or leave the European Union. The campaign involved extensive debates, media coverage, public discourse, with citizens becoming more political aware of the economic, social, and political implications of the decision. because in the referendum everyone's opinion matters, and on the basis of the vote the decision has to be done whether UK must be within this European Union or get it out of that European Union. Just to make sure this political awareness is there in each and everyone's mind, a extensive debate campaigns were going on over there, because it will have social, economic, and political implications on that particular decision. The referendum outcome demonstrated how heightened political awareness could shape the destiny of a nation, and one can see that later on, UK exited from this European Union, and this is what is political awareness. The government tried to make the politically people politically aware of this particular policy and this referendum, and they can have this informed decision. That was very much required, because uh, just go and cast your vote on yes or no, and you it's actually playing with the country. It has very great implications and adverse to implications on the that particular decision. So because of that reason, a politically aware and politically informed decision was very much required at that time. Next is case study talked about Black Lives Matter movement 2013 present. But it's not over. It's not over yet. It emerged in response to incident of police brutality and racial injustice, particularly against black individuals. It gained momentum globally, advocating for systematic change and political reform. Social media played a crucial role in spreading awareness and mobilizing support. The movement underscored the importance of political awareness in addressing social issues, challenging the status quo, and influencing the policy changes to combat racial inequality. Same like this, we have climate activism, global youth movement. A great figure like Greta Thunberg has made powerful force in raising political awareness among about environmental issues. The global movement like Fridays for Future mobilized young people to demand urgent action on climate change. The problem of this climate change actually is impacting each and every country, because it has the one can see the increasing temperature day by day, and different natural disasters that is being taking place. So being a politically aware, the government is trying to do whatever is needed through basically relying over the renewable resources energy, green energy. So, and there are people who are actually making government accountable to make sure that they do not go for any sort of uh, energy that is based on that is actually promoting this pollution and climate change. So everyone needs to be there, and everyone needs to be politically aware just to make informed decision and make things which are required, which are sustainable, uh, which is in consonance with the sustainable goals that is being promoted by the United Nations and being incorporated by every almost every member states of the United Nations. We came up with this Me Too movement in 2017, which gained attention in 27 is a powerful example of how political can bring attention to issues of sexual harassment and assault, sparkling a global conversation on gender equality. This when we have one can see when I have an example of having this Vishakha guidelines uh, during the 1990s. Uh, Rape was done of a lady uh, whose case was fought by Vishakha, one of the NGO, and in response to that uh, case, Supreme Court gave the uh, Vishakha guidelines on sexual harassment at the workplace, and that guideline was legislated by the government. Sexual Harassment at Workplace Prohibition Act. It was just for the sake of providing security to the women at their workplace. The gender inequality in one can see in the workplace area. Many of the ladies do not work. Majority is always there of men's. One of the major reason is that they are being sexually abused, and there is a harassment in one way or the other of different women at workplace, and, and ultimately it has a psychological impact for the rest of their lives, and they don't work just because of that reason too. That too was tackled by the Supreme Court, by the Indian court, and a mass movement, Me Too movement, where the influential ones was once indulged in some sort of harassment activity, and was actually in different stories of women. These were the things that were disclosed later on. So each and everything has its impact on each and everyone's individual life. So these cases studies was there just to make sure to give the relevance of the political awareness, and what is the requirement of political awareness. So consequence of no political aware. If you are not political aware, if you are not politically aware, there is a lots of adverse consequences one has to face. Uninformed decision making, vulnerability to manipulation, diminished civic participation, policy apathy, ineffective governance, uninformed decision making. Individuals without political awareness may make uninformed decisions when voting or supporting policies, potential leading to choices that do not align with their values or best interest. Manipulation by misinformation means lack of political awareness makes individuals susceptible to manipulation by misinformation and propaganda. One can see this WhatsApp university, anything could be circulated, right or wrong, no matter. Everything is being circulated. People believe, and they are easily manipulated due to some sort of propagandas. and ultimately they are making uninformed decisions, and it has very actually an adverse effect in each and every individual's lives, and society at large too will be impacted. Underrepresentations. Individuals who are not politically aware may not actively participate in civic process, leading to underrepresentation of certain perspectives and demographics in decision making bodies. You are not politically aware, you will not contest, you will not be represented. Ultimately, your ideology, your perception, your perspectives will be set aside because there is no one who is representing you, because you are not there. Ultimately, you will be alone with your own worries and grievances, and nobody will be there to hear such sort of problems of yours. Policy apathy. Without political awareness, individuals may remain indifferent to policies that directly affect their lives. This can perpetuate the status quo, hindering efforts to address societal issues and improve governance. Ineffective advocacy. Individuals who are not politically aware may struggle to effectively advocate for their interest or address societal concerns. This can hinder efforts to bring about positive change or address issues such as social justice, environmental protection, or human rights. Coming to the importance of political awareness, it's very much required. We have gone through a lot on everything. That is, first point is informed decision making, accountability and transparency, active participation in democracy, protection of rights and liberties, social economic process, effective advocacy, preventing authoritarianism. It's these are the importance. These are the few importance of political awareness. There's whole lot of other importance is there of political awareness. These are just the glimpses, and I've already talked about whether you are interested or not. Politics will be always be interested. One to just to have this all sort of things aligned in your life. Uh, Very much required thing is that you must be politically aware of it. Finally, I would like to conclude with this. What is crucial? Political awareness is crucial for a well-functioning democracy. It's very much required for the functional democracy. In absence, can undermine accountability, representation, and active citizenry, peace in the society, harmony in the society, the and the to prevail justice. A politically aware society is the need, and that too must not be misinformed. They must check and bounce back and work on more politically aware decisions. And it is the crust of the thing that for a harmonious relationship among different communities in the society, and to prevail law and order in the society, to make sure everyone uh, uh, respect the law of the land, this constitution, people around you, protect them to perform your duties, make state accountable, and be represented and be an active citizen. And that is all from my side. I'm open to questions. Thank you. Farah ma'am is here. Please kindly, if anyone has having any sort of questions regarding this particular awareness session by me, actually, so please, report questions. Welcome over here. Kindly, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Over to you, please.
Sir, first of all, I really appreciate the way you presented the lecture, very comprehensive way, and how you relate it with the
You're
real
not
life
audible,
incident.
ma'am.
I'm not audible.
I will make
Sir,
a call.
so audience, can you tell me if I'm audible? So I hope I am audible. Uh, uh, Please let me know if I am audible. Is there anyone who can tell us that I am audible? I hope I am audible. As I can see on my YouTube that my voice is audible. Maybe sir setting has something that you cannot hear my voice. So it was a very nice lecture, sir. You have explained very well, and the way you have presented the incident you have mentioned, the examples you have mentioned was well like explained. And the first thing that it is very important for us to be politically aware because it will ultimately help us to be responsible citizens and to know our own rights. ह्यूमन राइट्स जो हमारे हैं जो हमारे बेसिक ह्यूमन राइट्स हैं अगर हम हमें उनको जानना है और हमें उनको यूज करना है एंड टू बी टू अवॉइड द मिस यूज ऑफ दोज ह्यूमन राइट्स है ना वी मस्ट बी पॉलिटिकली अवेयर सर हैज मेंशन वेरी वेल दैट इट इज आर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू बी पॉलिटिकली अवेयर है ना ताकि हम सोशल जस्टिस को इनकलकेट कर सके ताकि कहीं पे अगर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो रहा है या कहीं पे भी कोई इनजस्टिस हो रहा है तो इफ वी आर पॉलिटिकली अवेयर वी कैन come forward and we can help others also. सो तो पहले तो हमें पॉलिटिकली अवेयर होना है ताकि हम ऑब्जर्व कर सके सोशल जस्टिस को हम सोसाइटी में इनकलकेट कर सके और हम हमारी जो सोसाइटी है वो अपवर्ड हो सके और व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी को हम कोशिश करके उसको बहुत वो उसको मतलब उसकी नॉलेज को कंट्रोल कर सके आई होप this lecture helped our students as well as the faculty a lot and probably all the students must have understood the जो हमारा लेक्चर का मेन पॉइंट था कि हाउ वी हैव कि हमारा जो पॉलिटिकल अवेयरनेस है वो कैसे हमें कहीं ना कहीं रेजिलियंस और कहीं ना कहीं सेल्फ कॉन्सेप्ट से रिलेट करता है ना बिकॉज जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी डेवलप होगी जो हमारे ह्यूमन राइट्स की चीजें डेवलप होंगी है ना so that we can empower ourselves that would ultimately help us to be resilient. I hope our lecture was fruitful and helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for presenting and for sharing their knowledge with all of us. Thank you so much.